Hi and welcome to another Carpenter Tutoring tutorial. I'm Amy and today we are going to talk about how to recognize equations that have no solution and what that even means. So first let's talk about the definition. An equation that has no solution means that no matter what value we plug in for the variable, that equation will never be true. In other words, there's no possible value that I could substitute for that variable and still have this equation work out. What this typically means is that we have an equation that equates the same value of variables on both sides of the equal sign, but combined with different constants. And that tells us that somehow that same variable value plus two different values somehow ends up being the same. And we know that can't possibly be true. So it's one thing to talk about it in the abstract, but let's see an example of a problem. So let's consider the problem 6m minus 5 equals 7m plus 7 minus m. Well, the first thing that I want to do when I see this problem is that I see on the right side of the equal sign that there's m's in two places. I haven't combined those like terms yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So 7m minus m, or minus 1m, would be 6m. So I can rewrite this as 6m minus 5 equals 6m plus 7. And here I notice that something is a bit off. On both sides of the equal sign, I have 6m. But the constants that are with them are not identical. In one case, I'm subtracting 5 from that value of 6m, and in another case, I'm adding 7 to that value of 6m. Well, there's no number that I can possibly conceive of that comes out to be the same, both when I take 5 away from it as when I add 7 to it. This tells me that no matter what I plug in for m, there's no way that this is going to work out, so this equation is going to have no solution. But let's say that we didn't believe it at this point yet and we decided to continue with our solving. Well, the next thing we would want to do is try to get all variables on one side, all numbers on the other. So in order to move the variables over, turns out doesn't matter which way I go, the step is going to be the same whether I move from the left side to the right side or the right side to the left side. Since both 6m's are positive, I'll move them over by the opposite operation or sign, which is negative 6m. But when I subtract 6m from both sides, it cancels out the 6m's on both sides. We actually eliminate our variable completely. And that just leaves us with a statement that negative 5 is equal to 7. Well, we know that that is not true. Negative 5 is not the same thing as 7. And so we know that this is going to end up being no solution, because no matter what value I plug in for m, there's no way that I can make negative 5 equal 7. So you can always work these types of equations out to the final step to see that you'll end up with two different constants that are set equal to each other, and you know that's not true, so it's no solution. But the shortcut comes in at any step where you see that you have the same amount of variable with the same coefficient and same signs on both sides of the equal sign, then combined with different numbers through addition or subtraction. If I see that relationship without working through to the end, I know that this is going to end up with no solution. I hope it's been helpful to talk about the definition of no solution equations and to see an example of one and a shortcut we can use to identify them together. If you have any questions or other topics that you'd like to see discussed, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoy our content, I hope you'll consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Thanks so much for spending part of your day with me, and I'll catch you next time.